From the Cronkite studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Hello and welcome to this Cronkite News special edition. I'm Jessie Schultz. Thanks for joining us. Tonight we bring you a series of reports from our Borderlands beat. From our team coverage on Latino issues affecting the presidential election to a range of stories important to Arizona's transborder populations and culture.
Arizona is home to one of the largest Syrian refugee communities, and 400 new Syrian refugees could arrive this year. Cronkite News reporter Clara Benitez shows us how a new mentorship program is helping families adapt.
At this simple backyard gathering, Syrian refugees eagerly wait for a special guest.
They look up to her since, not only is she, Miss Arab, but she's also Syrian. So it means a lot to them.
Lena Arkawi and her family created Shefa, Strength, Hope, Empowerment Foundation of America, to help Syrian refugee families in Arizona. The visit by Miss Arab USA Fabiola Al-Brahim kicked off the foundation's first event.
I definitely feel like I gave hope to the children. One of the girls was actually like, I want to be a beauty queen when I grow up. I was like, you already are one right now, and here's the crown. How does it feel? It was beautiful.
Fatima Holloway, a 13-year-old girl, enjoyed meeting Miss Arab USA, but she also appreciated seeing all of the Syrian families together.
I feel at home being here. I know we're in the United States of America, but I feel like I'm back in Syria.
Basically what we want to do is develop a mentorship program. So get people from our community who are successful and match them up with young Syrian refugees.
Arkawi's family started the foundation after getting a tremendous response from Syrian refugee families in Phoenix during a holiday drive last year in December.
What America is about, it's about a fusion of cultures, and I think it's a great opportunity to welcome Syrian refugees and learn from them, and they can learn from us as Americans.
This is the first of many events to come. Shefa will now start to pair up mentors with Syrian refugees. Clara Benitez, Cronkite News.
President Obama plans to accept over 10,000 Syrian refugees throughout the next year to help with the crisis in the Middle East. Customs officers are testing new biometric technology that tracks people leaving the country. Reporter Clara Benitez went to the border crossing in California, where the new technology is now in use.
This new biometric technology is being conducted in two phases. The first phase was in December when non-U.S. citizens entering the country had to provide biometric data. Now the test is in its second phase, tracking all the travelers that leave the U.S.
People leaving the country and entering Mexico at the Otay Mesa pedestrian border crossing now have to go through new biometric screening if they are not U.S. citizens.
The majority of the technology is meant to be minimally intrusive on the traveler, and most processes take anywhere between 1 to 7 seconds, with the longest process probably taking about 10 seconds on the kiosk for a non-U.S. traveler.
The test is part of a congressional mandate to record entries and exits to help track foreigners who might have overstayed their visas. Officers are testing two machines. After scanning their immigration document or passport, travelers pause and look at a camera on the wall, which will capture an image of their face and iris. Another machine captures an image of the person's face and iris while they're walking towards Mexico.
I think this is good because that means there is more protection for travelers. It's a personal protection for everyone to prevent identity theft.
Over 9,000 people enter the U.S. daily using this pedestrian crossing. And now with this new technology, U.S. Customs and Border Protection hope to have data on people who are entering into Mexico.
And ultimately, the goal would be to match a person's entry into the United States with their exit from the United States.
All to improve border security and better track those who are entering and leaving the country.
Until May of this year, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. All of the data collected will be used for research and evaluations. In the Broadcast Center, Clara Benitez, Cronkite News.
It's no secret that the political race is dividing the nation, but for refugees throughout the country, that divide goes deeper than just politics. But here in Arizona, some of those refugees are finding a home field advantage that's bringing their community together. Reporter Anthony Marroquin met with a Phoenix soccer club whose players are everything except local.
Imagine being forced out of your home and into a place where you don't even know the language. That's what refugees go through every day, and oftentimes it's without anything to remind them of where they're from. Most of the time, all refugees have left is a love for a ball and a field. Akili Edelman is from Tanzania, Leitu from Thailand, and Abraham Garnica was born to immigrant parents.
Everybody brings their different, I think, kind of forms of playing.
They're all part of the self-named AC Milan soccer club in Phoenix, which is primarily made up of refugee players. To them, there's nothing better than going out to start a game of shirts against skins.
The feeling of playing soccer is like the world to me.
For many refugees, adapting to a new country can be tough.
It's kind of difficult for me because I really don't know that much English.
But you don't have to be fluent in any language to pass the ball.
Being part of the team is feel good about me to be with them.
Soccer is so powerful that it even helped stop the Ivory Coast Civil War in 2005. Here at home, it hasn't done quite that, but it is a force that helps unify people regardless of their background. When Akili Edelman first got to the U.S., he said it was like a new world.
When I first got here, I was all shy and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know anybody.
It was the sport of soccer that finally helped him feel like he belonged.
Approximately all of my friends are from soccer.
Here, under the park lights, everyone is part of the same team.
I've known them for a long time. It's like 6 years. So it's pretty much like family now.
A family from all over the world. AC Milan is part of a string of sister clubs that together have over 100 players. 95% of those players are refugees. Live from downtown Phoenix, I'm Anthony Marroquin, Cronkite News.
Republican candidates Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz are competing for votes this Super Tuesday as they challenge the frontrunner Donald Trump. But as Anthony Marroquin shows us here in Phoenix, they fail to resonate with many Latino voters.
Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio have stood out in the crowded field of Republican candidates, but they have struggled to win support from large numbers of Latino voters outside their party.
With everything going on with immigration and stuff like that, and them being so against it, I disagree with a lot of stuff they have, and they're saying, actually.
It's a time for truth, a time to rise to the challenge, just as Americans have always done.
Because we did, there was still one place in the world where who you come from does not determine how far you go.
Viridiana Hernandez of the Center for Neighborhood Leadership says that Hispanic voters are looking for more than just a Latino name or a little Spanish.
You know, our communities cannot be taken for granted to think that we're so naive or dumb to think that we would just vote for someone because they have a Latino last name.
According to CNL, an increasing number of Hispanic voters are demanding more from their candidates.
How to register to vote, when to register to vote, when to vote, why to vote, and then now, who to vote for, and what issues resonate with our community.
Herrera says the two conservative Cuban-American Republicans have limited appeal in Arizona and the rest of the Southwest.
What we have heard in the messages and when they've talked is that they do not want to be like our community.
Support for Rubio and Cruz is so low in some states that even Donald Trump beat them out for the Latino vote in Nevada last week. Granted, the turnout was small, but it's becoming more obvious that Latino voters don't care where the candidates are from. They care about the issues.
Even though they have Hispanic last name, that doesn't mean they'll help, the Hispanic community.
Susie Gonzalez, like many other voters, has still not decided on a presidential candidate. In Phoenix, I'm Anthony Marroquin, Cronkite News.
Small growers may soon be able to sell their produce without meeting strict health regulations. Opponents are worried about foodborne illnesses, but supporters say small growers should be exempt. Among those who would benefit, community gardens. Cronkite News reporter Josh Burton spent the day at a garden run by refugees in Phoenix.
They've been planting, harvesting, and selling exotic plants at the Cross Connection Community Garden for nearly 10 seasons, merging traditional Bhutanese farming with modern practices.
We don't have our own land, so it's a little difficult, but this IRC is providing us this opportunity.
The garden is part of the IRC, or International Rescue Committee's New Roots program. Punya Kolela once farmed within sight of Mount Everest. His family is vegetarian.
We had a problem eating the American food when we got here, but it took us almost 3-4 months to find the vegetables in the market.
It's planting season, but the buzz at the state legislature isn't about what goes into the ground, but who gets it when it comes up and how it's sold.
All right, call this meeting of the government committee to order.
When a farmer can't sell everything he has at a farmer's market, he would be able to sell that possibly to a school.
SB 1004 would allow schools to buy produce from community gardens. Preschools are already growing and serving their own vegetables without meeting strict health mandates. The bill would exempt grade schools too.
It's really not a matter of if an outbreak will happen, it's really when.
The Department of Agriculture wants all growers certified. They're concerned tracing contaminated produce.
In our society, we've become so overcautious. We want to create this utopia society where everything is perfect.
The bill's sponsor says it will give Arizonans more choices and empower small growers like refugees at this garden.
They've been doing this for years back in their country, so when they got the gardening program, and they are so happy.
In Phoenix, Josh Burton, Cronkite News.
SB 1004 now waits in the House of Representatives after the Senate approved an amended version of the bill last week, the last barrier between his proposed legislation and Governor Ducey's desk.
A growing number of Americans are multiracial. Some, who are both African American and Mexican American, are defying racial categories. Cronkite News reporter Clara Benitez shows us many identify themselves as Blaxican.
Raynetta Brown knows how it feels to straddle two worlds.
I was more Mexican when the time was right, and more Black when the time was right. I get identified as Black first. I think people see that from me before being Mexican.
But the ASU student identifies with both groups. Her mother is Mexican American and her father is African American. According to a recent report from Pew Research Center, 6.9% of Americans are multiracial, and the number is rapidly growing.
This idea of a one-drop rule, so having one drop of African blood makes you Black, regardless of what other part you are, right? Whether you're white, Mexican, or whatnot.
Just like you could see us, the two black sheep in the family, and my mom's whole side of the family, they're all fair-skinned, and it's not, I don't think it was something that was ever like addressed or pointed out to me, but it's something that I noticed as I started to explore like what race is or what my identity was. So I thought that was interesting. And then going to my dad's side would be the opposite, where we'd be like the two lighter ones.
Brown also struggled with her looks at school.
Being made fun of in kindergarten because my hair was in braids and nobody else's was, and so like my hair was different. I was like called Medusa and ridiculous names that I didn't know kids knew.
For years, Brown felt forced to choose a race.
To like fill in a Scantron and determine like which pick one race or pick other.
Now she and others are defying categories. The Instagram account Blaxicans of LA has gone viral. It's the work of a graduate student at Stanford University.
I feel proud to be like part of this new wave of kids who are growing up experiencing completely different cultures within their own family.
It's an experience shared by more and more families. The number of multiracial Americans is growing 3 times as fast as the general population. In Phoenix, Clara Benitez, Cronkite News.
And the effort to expand racial categories to better reflect the population now extends across the border. For the first time, Mexico's 2020 census will allow people to identify as Afro-Mexican or Afro-Latino.
There are 8.8 million legal residents in the U.S. who are eligible to naturalize, according to the Department of Homeland Security.
That's right, and 80,000 of them live here in Maricopa County, according to a local organization. Yahaira Jaquez tells us why many are considering becoming citizens this election year.
As the November election draws closer, the push to citizenship is on a record-setting pace, and the motivation for many is what experts now call the Trump effect.
You can count on Mario Aguilar to be here every Thursday.
I'm just waiting for my interview. I'm ready to be a citizen.
He's hoping the practice he gets through the union he's a part of will help him ace the civics test required to naturalize.
I feel like I'm ready, but I'm still taking the classes because my English is no good and it helps to listen.
He's been in the U.S. for 30 years, 25 on a work permit and 5 as a resident. Yet after all these years, what's motivating motivating Aguilar to citizenship isn't who he's voting for, but rather who he's voting against.
We've worked in Donald Trump's buildings and served in his hotels, and even then he's anti-immigrant.
Aguilar is part of a wave of residents wanting to become citizens because of what the local chapter of Unite Here, a hospitality union, calls the Trump effect.
Many of our members have said, I want to become a citizen because, I want to be able to vote. I don't want Donald Trump to be my president.
Nationally, the federal government received about 205,000 naturalization applications in the 2015 fourth quarter. That's a 14% increase from the same time period a year before.
Thanks in part to organizations like the Libre Initiative, which holds packed forums with lawyers to help people fill out their citizenship applications.
We're saying we're going to have to do this again probably in 2 weeks so that we can help the people that we couldn't help tonight. We can finish their applications.
But it's more than anti-immigrant rhetoric that's behind the surge in citizenship. Unite Here says members fear what will happen to their families under a new administration.
Yeah, a lot of people have nephews, sons, daughters, husbands, tios that are undocumented. That have DACA.
Leading Republican candidates have said they would end President Obama's Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, a problem for Aguilar, whose daughter benefits from DACA.
My daughter is a dreamer, and if a Republican becomes president, they already said they would take the program away. I don't know what I'd do.
But for now, he hopes studying will be enough.
The classes are helping me so that I'm not afraid when I go in for the test.
Hispanic immigrants who are in the U.S. legally and decided to become citizens are the second largest source of growth for the Hispanic electorate, according to the Pew Research Center. And it estimates that between 2012 and 2016, 1.2 million legal residents will have naturalized. Yahaira Jaques, Cronkite News.
Tonight, we take a look at a group of Arizona voters making their issues and voices heard.
Cronkite News reporter Gilbert Cordova met with American Indian voters whose support for Sanders goes beyond just politics.
The beat of the drums could be heard from all around the convention center as passionate American Indian activists and voters made their voices heard.
So we're here to support Bernie Sanders because he introduced a bill to repeal that land exchange.
That land exchange of Oak Flats is a huge issue to the Apaches because it would allow copper mining in an area that they consider sacred.
So it's important that our indigenous relatives get out and vote to protect their lands now. Those lands are now up for grabs.
There are 186,000 eligible Native American voters here in Arizona, according to the Pew Research Center. That's about 4% of the total Arizona voter population.
We can look a little bit to Oklahoma, which obviously has a large Native American population. Bernie Sanders did well there.
But will that translate well to Arizona?
I'm not so sure. Across the board, I think there's just as much, if not more, probably support for Hillary.
PR executive Barrett Marson recently ran a poll that showed Hillary Clinton as the frontrunner here in Arizona. He says tracking the opinions of Native Americans presents certain challenges.
It is oftentimes hard to break out the Native Americans in polls. It's not very easy for pollsters to get into that community to get their numbers.
Native Americans in Arizona and across the nation have also expressed support for Hillary Clinton. Perhaps another reason why the Sanders team has been spending so much time in Arizona this week. In downtown Phoenix, Gilbert Cordova, Cronkite News.
President Obama will travel to Cuba with his family on Monday. It's the first trip by a U.S. president to the island in 90 years. Now that the president has eased travel restrictions, Americans hope to visit Cuba. Cronkite News reporter Claire Benitez joins us to talk about the new rules.
Americans who want to travel to Cuba individually rather than a group must sign an affidavit, save their travel records for 5 years, and engage with the Cuban people during their visit. That's part of the president's plan to improve U.S.-Cuba relations.
Baltasar Hernandez shot this video during his recent trip to Cuba. He traveled there with 18 ASU students in his international political economy class.
They don't receive a lot of American tourists or travelers at all, and so for them to be able to speak to me about sort of my experiences in the United States and for me to get to be able to speak with them, it was a very enlightening experience for both of us. We're heading into the Museo Nacional de Bellas Artes.
That opportunity was limited to educational groups, but now more Americans will be able to visit the island. A U.S. travel agency that handles Cuba trips explained the new rules.
Individual travel, being a couple, being a family, being a couple of friends, and so on, as long as they comply with the regulation.
Demand is high because most Americans have been forbidden from traveling to the island.
And right now there are 2 or 3 hotels under construction which started years ago and it's still not finished. So we have more American demand putting pressure on existing hotels. They have not hired new tour guides. They did not purchase new vehicles, being vans or buses.
Cuba might not be prepared just yet, but the Cuban people are ready to welcome Americans.
And they're very eager to welcome and receive the influx of American tourists.
Commercial flights to Cuba could begin as early as this fall. Major airlines, including American, United, and Southwest, have submitted applications to the federal government for permission to fly to the island. Claire Benitez, Cronkite News.
Immigration is a hot topic for candidates, but it's also the inspiration for 2 Arizona artists.
Cronkite News reporter Chloe Nordquist shows us how they're using art to promote a conversation about border issues.
This piece is called Undocumented. It basically is a statement on street art, graffiti, and immigration. I create art to tell stories.
Medina's pieces show the struggles of immigrants like himself. He is now a legal resident, but was undocumented when he immigrated to New York from Bolivia as a child. Medina's paintings and murals are on display throughout Arizona.
Murals is our first form of communication that we as human beings developed.
He's one of several artists who use their craft to spark a conversation about border issues.
My goal is to create dialogue, not necessarily to tell a person what to think, but to think, to get opposing views, to look at the artwork.
Cabrales attended college in Arizona and has been an art instructor in multiple border cities. Right now, he's working with students at University of Texas, El Paso.
You have people like Donald Trump talking about how it's a war zone, and it's not.
Cabrales grew up in El Paso and crossed into Juarez often. He's inspired by that border experience.
One of the ones that I'm most proud of, I'm actually going to be showing it in Arizona this year, it's titled Juegos Fronteras, and it's a piece on immigration, and it's using a playground as an analogy of border cities.
The hope is for this art to illuminate immigration issues beyond the border. In El Paso, Chloe Nordquist, Cronkite News.
As Cronkite News reporter Anthony Marroquin shows us, demonstrators are worried about Trump's influence on new state laws.
Protesters gathered outside the state capitol to demand Governor Doug Ducey veto any new laws targeting undocumented immigrants.
Everyone here in Arizona is not going to stand by and allow these anti-immigrant bills to be pushed forward.
It's been coined the Trump effect.
A lot of people working together to really raise their voice and fight against the hateful anti-immigrant rhetoric that is out there mainly through the Trump campaign.
The bills range from increasing punishment for sanctuary cities to rejecting all refugees.
We're out here to show that these bills will not be accepted in Arizona anymore.
Protesters say that legislation like this hasn't been present in Arizona since SB 1070 5 years ago. They say that Trump's anti-immigration rhetoric is causing legislators to push bills like this more often.
We are together on this. That is, we have another wave of hate. All the community is going to come together to stop it.
Nobody from the governor's office responded to the protesters, but the coalition of faith, labor, and immigrant groups will continue to pressure Ducey to reject Trump-style immigration laws. In Phoenix, I'm Anthony Marroquin, Cronkite News.
For the past 9 years, Chavez Boxing Gym has been providing an after-school program for at-risk youth in the community. Cronkite News reporter Mauricio Casillas explains how the program has been coaching kids in the right direction.
For 3 days out of the week, kids and teens get to train here at Chavez Boxing Gym. For many of them, the training provides discipline and an escape from the tough neighborhoods that they live in. Pete the Punisher Chavez created his boxing foundation because he wished he had something like that growing up.
I just see like myself when I was a youth, you know, all the trouble I got into, and I know a lot of it could have been avoided, you know, if I would have had good role models, if I would have had something like this.
Chavez works 6 days out of the week as a trainer and then volunteers his time for the after-school program. But even on his day off, he finds his way back into the gym to help out his kids.
This is their haven, you know, this is their second home. So a lot of them know, you know, like it's my one day off, so they'll call me like, Coach, can I meet you at the gym, or can we talk, or, you know, and we just have like, you know, good live talks.
21-year-old Alfredo Valdivia started off with the foundation 6 years ago. He's now a trainer at the gym.
Where I live, there's a lot of like gang-related stuff. You know, there's tagging all over the walls. You know, when I met Coach, you know, he told me he went through that same stuff, and it's something that I never want to ever go through. You know.
He's the perfect example of what we're trying to do here for these kids.
Valdivia was the first person to graduate from high school and college in his family. Now, he's training to box professionally.
This gym is more than just a gym. It's more like a home.
There are currently 20 kids involved with the after-school program. Now, Chavez says his ultimate goal would be to expand to another gym so that he can reach even more at-risk youth. In Phoenix, I'm Mauricio Casillas, Cronkite News.
That's it for this Cronkite News special. We are proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Hi, I'm Paula Kruger. I hear from so many of you that watching great British dramas like Downton Abbey, Sherlock, and Call the Midwife is a wonderful escape from the stresses of daily life. You've told me they transport you to another time and place. Please, donate to this PBS station to keep these stories available for you and everyone, now and for generations to come. Support great drama. Support this PBS station.